You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite, because it's also character-driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets, including our friends right here at the ESO Network.
So we're kind of hanging out for today.
Looking for toys, finding nothing, you know.
Watching a Star Wars trailer, getting really disappointed. You know, that kind of day.
I'm telling you, it'll be better with whiskey.
Whiskey. So, is it recording? It should be recording. I can't tell.
No.
It'll be a short trip.
Off a long pier.
Alright, it is still recording. Alright, so we're going to talk about, as you put it, the lightning bolt in a room, which is, that's not a thing, actually.
I don't know.
Alright, so I saw Shazam 2+ weeks ago.
I saw it this week.
Which I was surprised, and you went by yourself, too.
I did, I know.
So you lost the bet to yourself for some reason.
The skies opened up, and I'm like,
freedom.
I got
what I'm going to watch. Shazam. So let's talk about the lightning bolt in the room, so to speak. Your version of what you thought about.
It's fine. I liked it fine. It was weird, though. It wasn't like other DC origin stories.
Yeah.
It was very much kind of like Goonies, mixed with Big.
Yeah.
Mixed with dark elements of a film that just kind of, it's PG-13.
Right.
It's PG-13.
We got to remember.
But bad things are going to happen. But as long as you don't say shit, fuck, or show blood,
that's all.
Red,
yeah.
We're okay.
Or tits.
Yeah.
But they do go to a strip club. Nope, can't show anything in there.
Nope.
You can say that you didn't like it, but you can't say
And anything. I think Pedro does say that.
Right, and he says that's not my kind of thing.
Is that an LGBT thing? I don't know.
Why are we looking into that already? Like, you want to make Wonder Woman queer, and Miss Marvel also. I'm
possibly.
Like, okay, if that's what we want to do, fine. But it's just a throwaway line. Honestly, it's whatever. That's distracting, and besides the point. All right. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you said you liked it.
Yeah.
What are the problems that you had with it, though?
I don't know. It's just so weird. Just the idea of, because, I mean, Shazam has always been like, a kid who's really morally very nice and a winner or whatever in the body of an adult superhero.
Right.
That whole psychology is just a strange thing to play with, But again, Zachary Levi himself says, Shazam is one of those rare superheroes that is happy to be a superhero. And yet, the thing I had problems with is he never masters his powers, And I really liked the third act. I was happy with that. But it just didn't seem that focused. And yet, everything I want for a good sleeper blockbuster is there. Mm-hmm. The lines of dialogue are funny. It's clever enough. It's self-aware. It knows things.
Yes.
Again, there's that line like, "Are you talking to me? Because you're like a mile away. I can't." That was great.
Right, in the climax.
I love that. I loved a lot of things about the movie, but I wasn't crazy about it,
right.
Because it was entertaining enough. But the thing that you got to see it 2 weeks before in the previews.
Yes.
Because they were really confident about it. But you got to see it with a bunch of fans.
Right.
I got to see it, and there were a lot of people in my theater, don't get me wrong.
A lot of crickets.
Well, yeah, but the funny lines, and all you hear is me going, ha, 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 ha.
Right, which is par for course.
Just me! And I'm just like... And then I'm going to get embarrassed. I'm like, oh, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
a DC fan and be proud.
I was.
Mutant and proud.
Yeah, could you say the line like you mean it, Jennifer? Like you understand. You get an Oscar, for God's sakes, please. Okay, I get you don't like the blue makeup, but for God's sakes.
Montat and Brown. What? It's Mutant and Proud.
I liked it a lot. I love the third act is one of the strongest third acts I've seen in a DC movie in a long time. And I like the family element that runs through it. But for me, I don't know if the family ever coalesces in a strong element. You know what I mean? We get to know their names. We get to know who they are. I love the way that Eugene figures out here's where your mom is, you know? And I love that he goes there and his mom's like, look, I was 17 and I saw you, you know, but I knew you'd be in better hands with the police, which is heartbreaking.
It is.
But it just, for me, it didn't, I just didn't get that connection quite there. Which maybe it was me, maybe it was an off day, I don't know.
See, that's where I thought it was the strongest element because in the end of the day, it's not the family that you are with, like you think you should be with.
Right.
It's a family that you were with at that time. And that's the strongest element. Like, sure, it was this recovery that he gets to be with his biological mom. And that turned out to be a disaster. And he literally walks away from that. Of course, there was an emergency, but it doesn't come back to it. And I kind of liked that because it, like Mrs. Doubtfire, when we were doing that little game in the car.
Charades, yeah.
Right. So you accept the family for what they are at that time, and it could be divided. Or it may not be the nuclear family where you have the father and the mother and like all the strong relationships. That changes over time. And I was glad to see that this family, right from the very beginning, was very accepting of Billy in a family that was a great environment. I don't think why Billy would not want to do that, but part of that.
No, he's been hurt over and over. Like,
right.
When he runs into Mary, he says, no, you got to take care of yourself. You know, you should be happy to get out of there. He's like, no, but they're my family.
Right, because she'll be leaving, go to college and leave them behind. And that's, I think over the course of the movie, I think that family element and that strong third act, which I was the one that started the clapping when it's like, I'm putting everyone to have Shazam powers. Say my name, grab the staff.
Billy!
Exactly, Billy!
No, not that name. It didn't touch me to this guy.
And then the Shazam family is born, and I'm just ecstatic because that's the comic nerd that I know. That's what I love. It was just like these weird Billy and Mary. Of course, the weird uncle from the comics and the talking tiger.
Yeah, the tiger.
I'm not going to get into that, but
I like
in the comics.
that's in there too. Like, here, take the tiger. Here, steal, take the tiger. It's okay. I'm an adult of authority. Take it.
So it has all those moments that I'm happy for. But, oh my God, that moment that he transforms all the other kids to have powers. And I'm like, that's amazing. It's like, you know, it's DC's versions of Guardians of the Galaxy where you have like a weird mix of people become a family at the very end. And unlike Guardians, which does a better job because you see these characters a lot more, it kind of comes together eventually. But again, that moment when everyone becomes a superhero is amazing.
I like they still have the minds of the youngest
mind of the kids.
Right. Like Darcy, the youngest, saves a man dressed as Santa Claus. He says, I know somebody's been really good. It's cute as shit, but you're like, oh my God.
Even the Santa Claus bit twice that he gets the whole encounter with what's going on. And then at the amusement park, and he bolts.
Right.
Both times. I got the fuck out of here, man. I fucking love. So it's one of those that one of the big surprises of this movie is how much humor there is, not at the sake of the characters, but because they're part of this whole mix that is enjoyable. Like I said, it is a big major win for me to be a DC fan, realizing that, you know, we have Wonder Woman, we have Aquaman and Shazam, and they're all individual. They are all, you know who these characters are. You know who and what they are about. Now, when I saw this after I saw Captain Marvel the day before, I was just like, oh my God, please don't let Shazam be this kind of...
No. I knew it was going to be good. I knew, but
Yeah.
I expected it to be slightly better.
Yeah.
I did, because you raved about it.
Yes.
I mean, you just
And-
wouldn't
and-
shut up for a while.
Well,
but you needed it.
Yes.
It fed you.
Because...
It got you out of a dark place.
Yeah. So,
I was already in a dark place. I'm still in a dark place. But I still
but
enjoyed the heck
right,
out of it.
For the 2 hours they were there, it was enjoyable. Even the Easter egg at the end that I was kind of happy about with, was it Mr. Mine? The talking worm?
Mr. Mine, yeah.
That shows up. I'm like, I fucking know that reference too. Also from the comics. I'm like, holy shit, that just threw me for a loop. So I'm like, I was so ecstatic for what Shazam was able to be accomplish on the big screen, and Zachary Levi really deserves a lot of the credit for inhabiting and becoming this character, which people were saying Billy is really dour, but then Zachary as Shazam is completely different. I'm like, no, it's more liberating that now you realize, holy shit, I'm a superhero and I can do this. Yeah, your attitude would change. You're not going to be the exact same kid.
Right, see him though, like, I'm shooting lightning from my hands. Like, for money, I'm just like, oh my God. This is not where I thought this movie was going to go.
Right, or, using his ability to, like, where can I get your finest beverage or your beers or whatever?
Right.
And he just makes that weird kind of pivot.
Which is perfect, beautiful. I loved it. And I love the power. Like, all right, yeah. Maybe it's a costume. You're bullet immunity. Wait, maybe it's a costume. Shoot him in the face. Shoot him in the head.
And they still do it. And I'm like,
all right.
It's like, no, don't fucking do that. But they were fucking loving it. And that's the joy of it, is just, you're having goofy fun with this.
We'd never seen this before in a movie, so that was fresh.
Yeah.
It's weird to have the villains. I mean, it's Dr. Savannah personified, but to fight the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
That was weird. And for them to come out and have manifestations, physical manifestations,
right,
but you're blowing through them because they're misty.
Yeah.
That was weird. I was like, shit, I'm not sure the Marvel family can defeat this.
Right, so
It
they
was
just got the powers, right.
Right. And like, okay, so they all have the same powers, but they're a little augmented towards one power.
Right.
But Captain Marvel still has all of them.
Right.
Wasn't sure about that, but get it now. Watching reviews, reading stuff. Like, okay, so that's fine, but...
Yeah. So I did read the Jeffrey Johns book after I watched Shazam, and the major difference is that Savannah goes and gets the 7 deadly sins, but also Black Adam is the bad guy, and the two of them, Shazam and Black Adam, was part of this. So you could just say, well, since we don't have Black Adam, just put that to Dr. Savannah, and he becomes the avatar, so to speak, for the 7 deadly sins, and then you're good to go.
But that first third is so fucked up. Like, yeah, we're just pulling people randomly out of their lives, give them a test, they fail, we put them back in their lives.
Yeah.
But Savannah's the one who fucks up.
Yeah.
Because his dad gets angry, you could have killed us. Then the accident, then the legs, and he's got a complex backstory that's like, you told me I could be nothing, from that moment. And
that's where it gets a little PG, a little dark.
And the boardroom thing, you're like, yeah, well, okay, I understand your origins. It's fucked up, and you should have let this go, but I get that you can get obsessed.
Yeah.
You're a meek little kid.
That's where just like, I wish there was not necessarily another scene from when he was a kid to where he is then, something in between for him, like, to transition to, he lost his hair. Yeah. But his dad looks the exact same, like just a moment ago. So there was no change because
his brother doesn't.
No, his brother's completely fucked.
Wait, who is that? Oh, that's your brother's name. Okay, I got it.
Right, exactly. But whatever. So for the most part, I'm just really happy that this happened. If I'm gonna gripe, the only thing that I knew was coming was the very last scene, the last shot. Hey, I brought a friend with me, and that was the body double for Superman. We're going to get Henry. We just got his body double. And we'll just shoot from the neck up. Here's my friend Superman.
I was like, how much time did it take to do this? I thought it was great that, the family sticks together.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were all this. I knew Darcy was there.
Yeah.
I didn't know Mary was there too. He's in the high school. But everyone, Pedro, he's not, because usually it's just Billy and Freddie.
Right.
And Darcy hanging around who just hugs everyone. It's so cute. She's feels every scene the young girl plays.
Yes,
Darcy.
exactly. I love her. And then Making Good is...
It's good too.
Yeah.
Plays it perfectly.
Yeah. So it's something that it's completely different from what Marvel has done, because all their heroes are adults.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a nice and a fresher take on what it's like to be a superhero. I thought about Greatest American Hero at times.
Yes, I did too.
It has that feeling because I'm like, wait a minute, he doesn't know how to do any of this. There's no instruction book. So that whole testing about how to fly, punching things, or the bullet immunity thing, that was what's a joy, because we haven't seen that in a very long time.
He never masters his powers.
No,
He's like,
I know.
Hands, lighting from my hands, lighting from my hands, lighting from my... I mean, and then he causes the accident.
Right.
And he's like, no. And the people he catches the bus, and they just keep falling, and they're smashing against the glass again, like...
All right, good. But here's the question, and this is the problem that I'm going to see from this moment on. When you're going to have a sequel, which they have
There
to...
will be a sequel, it's been agreement.
Right, they have to go because the kids are going to grow up that quick. He says his name Shazam to become that person.
Right. And
What are you going to call him?
They never call him Captain Marvel, nor Shazam.
Right.
No one says
Right.
his name.
So,
it's got like sparkle fingers, it's all
Right.
these other things.
Or there was a reference to Thunder or something.
Yeah.
Which was an original name for that character in the comics. But if he cannot be called Shazam, because every time he says that name, he converts either to or from that personality. What are you going to call him?
Ghostbusters.
No.
I'm sorry.
Can't
I had
do
to.
this.
I'm sorry.
So I don't know how they're going to come around and fix that.
They'll figure it out.
Because of the Captain Marvel, they gave it to
They
Marvel.
don't even call Captain Marvel in their movie.
Right, exactly. So at that point, it's like, well,
The nameless one.
we could just take it back then because they didn't get to use it, right?
I don't know. The thing about it for me is that I don't even know how the kids learned how to say Shazam. I have no idea how that information was passed on to them. But the thing is, I don't think this crosses over. It's one of the many worlds of DC. The worlds of DC. Because you can't cross this over. I don't think he's going to be within the Justice League if that ever comes out.
It'll be its own new thing.
Yeah.
That's all I can care about. Is do like what Marvel did in the beginning. Do individual stories.
And then we'll figure it out.
We'll connect it down the road. You know, I think we lost now Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I don't think the Flash movie is going to happen.
Wonder Woman will be out next year. We may get a Green Lantern Corps movie. Who knows what?
I don't know what's Green Lantern, because the chairman got fired.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
cheating.
Right. So all that he was kind of planning for is kind of like up in the air now. So I'm like,
all I know is that we'll probably get a Trench movie.
Right, a Trench and more Shazam. Definitely an Aquaman, but not anytime
Eventually,
soon.
yeah.
Not anytime soon. So, Batman, of course, the Matt Reeves version. So,
Long ways away. I think it's going to be in the 90s, I hear, but I don't know. But it's fine. It's fine. Take baby steps, DC, Warner Brothers. Just get there slowly. Just keep hitting them out of the park.
right, that's all that matters, because you have to compete on your level, produce it at the way that you can be proud of.
But are you worried about Shazam making money? Because that's the question. Because it had a good first week, but not as good as, maybe it should have been. And I'm not sure it's going to have legs. And it's got 2 weeks to get those legs and get as much money out of the bank as possible, because then Avenger Endgame flattens everything.
Right, and I think after today being Friday, we're recording this, Hellboy is not going to be, I don't think, much of a threat towards Shazam. So it should be able to be a number one again for this box office. And then the week after that, it should be okay. Because it was made with $100 million,
Right.
it's definitely made its money. There's not a worry about that.
And it's got a sequel.
So it's...
But I don't think it's going to come close to the $1 billion club.
No, it's not going to do that. I just think because of the timing, you got a good product, and you did good. You're not going to be like Wonder Woman. You're not going to be like Aquaman.
It's Ant-Man good.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to say, because it's a B-list character.
Right.
He's not in the main MCU. Even Green Lantern's kind of a B-lister,
right,
as well. But because you got Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. Those are your A-listers in the DCU. Shazam is if it makes money, it's fine. Aquaman was a surprise.
Right.
It was a sweet, happy surprise. But people are hungry for quality superhero movies, which Shazam is, because it's a smaller film.
Right.
It has to fight harder, but it doesn't have to do anything because everyone knows it's a smaller film.
It
And if it gets word of mouth,
Right.
it'll be fine. That strong third act, the family is
Yeah.
great. And
Right.
it'll carry through. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's,
Well, again, worldwide, it's fine. It will be fine. It's not going to be, like you said, the $1 billion that Aquaman made.
But somehow Captain Marvel made.
Well, again, I think when we talked about this, is it because it's a female first for Marvel, or is it because it's a Marvel movie?
I think it's a mix.
It's a mix.
Yeah, the females, because women are, they need something to identify with.
Right.
And that's great. That's fine. I'm glad that we hit that. And
but-
yet it should have been Black Widow. But
Right. We're not going to get into that. But
Yeah.
at least there's something that Marvel can be proud of, to at least say that we need to have more representation. And they're going to be doing that down the road in however way, if it's going to be Captain Marvel and Valkyrie, who knows?
I want that movie. I want the A-Force movie. I would pay good money for that.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking...
Then I'll buy the action figures. All of them.
Because we were looking at the Disney store at International Mall, and I was looking at the Marvel Rising figures.
Yeah, down at the bottom.
And, right.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
In the discount aisle.
And it's like, there's America Chavez that's a big deal because that's a gay character. And it's on the bottom of the store shelf in the corner. And it should be a bigger thing.
Well, that was that series of dolls came out, though, kind of like the Force of Destiny.
No, I know.
So, that didn't do well. This overall, I mean, it is a cartoon series, I believe, on the Disney Channel, but it's not that.
Right. But hopefully the movies themselves would kind of not necessarily force that issue, but at least have representation, because again, it matters when you have Black Panther or you have Captain Marvel, that's what it feels like for someone else who doesn't get that representation on the screen that could be me on that screen.
Right.
I can be that hero of my own story. So that's where it's major. So, and we went in the end anyway, because that's more people, butts in the seats, paying to see your movie. And plus all the merchandise after that.
So let's see, 1 out of 10 for Shazam. What do you think?
I would give it a good 8.
As would I. Yeah, I give it an 8 too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a perfect 10. Like, not even Wonder Woman would get a perfect 10, even though...
I give it a 9. I really
right,
liked
I would
it.
give it higher than 9.
I was happy with it. It was just, wow.
Right. The one point that you get is because of that porn stash.
I know.
Otherwise,
So this
Wonder Woman would have been like dead on perfect for me, because she is in every way magical. Representation of what Linda Carter used to be in the comics, and oh my god, it's just fantastic.
It's not even that for me. It's not even Linda Carter for me. It's the way she stands out.
Yes.
In time. The ice cream thing.
Yes.
Oh, baby. The naivete, the sweetness of her.
Right.
And the not knowing. And then just speaking up. Like, no, my country would call that slavery.
Right, exactly.
And then the things, like, talking to the guys, like, no, you should be out in the field. You can't send people out there and die. Mm-hmm. You should be out by people. That was great.
But my one moment that I listened to the soundtrack ahead of time is the No Man's Land sequence.
That got everybody.
That's the moment I'm like, oh my god, she nails it. So that's why I'm like, I was waiting for Captain Marvel to kind of do something like that, and to me, it just never reached that point.
Captain Marvel or Shazam?
Captain Marvel.
Okay, right.
Because
okay, yeah, I agree.
It never got there.
Marvel's Captain Marvel, yes.
So, but like Shazam, he gets to that point about the whole family connection. Like I was talking about, that he doesn't have it in the beginning, and there's a character arc that he becomes part of that family at the end, and you feel that connection. I didn't feel that way with Carol Danvers reconnecting with her best friend and her daughter, because there was nothing there before to establish that that's there.
I agree, and I think that the way it was directed, that Carol Danvers, she's an empty husk.
Basically,
you're alive.
Yeah.
You may live, but you haven't examined your life.
Yeah.
You haven't. I mean, I know that theoretically you have suffered and you've gone through these things, but you're not showing me that. She has no depth.
Exactly.
That I can dig my teeth into and go, yes, I've been there.
Until that last third act, and then you see the sequences, and like, where was Stitch from? All throughout her childhood. And I'm like, you touched on it barely in the beginning with the Skrulls kind of going through her memories, and that's about it. But that's it. There should have been some kind of residue that allowed her to open up to these experiences. Like, I don't know what this is, but this is what I'm seeing in my head. about these memories that have been suppressed. And that could have been the thing for her to be established, that she's fighting what's going to be in her head and trying to remember who she is. Something. Because other than that, it's like not until the third act and she starts to become Carol.
Right.
Literally. And then she says, I'm Carol.
And she'll be better in Endgame.
Yes,
Sure.
exactly.
So, question for you: Marvel's Captain Marvel, 1 out of 10.
7.
I'm gonna give it a 6. I really did. I was like,
It's only because of Brie Larson. So
She doesn't know you're alive, although she acknowledges your electronic existence on this earth.
let me have this
Okay,
one
okay.
fantasy.
Sure,
At
that was fine.
least.
She knows you.
She knows
and
of
she was
me.
just clicking on her Instagram years
Yeah.
ago.
She's just
getting
checking to
ready
see
for
what
the
I'm
role.
doing.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder what Monster's doing today. Oh, look, he's hanging out with Mr. Gene again. Oh, I wonder what's on his next podcast. Because, I listen to him. No, you don't. Stop lying, Brie! Stop lying!
You're hurting yourself. You went down to reality. Don't think about reality. Shh, it's okay. She knows you. She likes you. She acknowledges your existence. Jeez. Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. No one has to get hurt. Particularly not you or me. You're fine. Just
All right,
breathe.
we're done. We're,
Yeah,
we're going
good.
away.
All right.
I'm going to Hot Topic.
Okay. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for listening.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.